This is exactly what we're looking for when it comes to Mason McTavish staying with the Anaheim Ducks. We get into a recent report basically shooting down a recent trade proposal between the Montreal Canadiens and the Anaheim Ducks in this edition of Ducks Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 19% of you, the ones who are watching these videos, who've already hit the sub button, but 81% of you have not subscribed yet. Not sure why. We're the newest Anaheim Ducks YouTube channel, bringing you everyday content, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. But we got to talk about this report. As we know, the Ducks and Montreal have been linked to a trade, the last few weeks for Mason McTavish, right? I mean, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of different people talking about this. We've seen the fans on this channel, a lot of comments with a lot of Montreal Canadian fans wanting Mason McTavish to get traded to Montreal. But this, comments, these remarks from a TSN insider kind of, changed that, right? I mean, this is kind of, this TSN analyst shoots down a bold Canadians and Ducks trade idea. So a Reinbacher for McTavish swap won't work for Montreal, says analysts, and fans are divided on whether the Habs should even consider it, right? I mean, I think it seems like more of, Montreal needs Mason McTavish, right? I mean, I think that's obvious, right? They need him. They really want him. But the Ducks can't help Montreal out here. I mean, the Ducks have to hold on to McTavish. We've seen other insiders say that he is not going to be traded this offseason, right? I mean, there's been some people who have come on and said that basically that it's not going to happen. McTavish is not going to be traded. The Ducks are going to find a way to sign him. And right now, the holdup is basically the length of the contract, right? I mean, to me, I think that both sides want to make this work, right? I really do think that both sides want to make this partnership work. I mean, I can't see why McTavish would not want to play for the Ducks, right? I mean, I just can't see it. I mean, I think McTavish is comfortable playing for the Ducks. This is the one team he's played for. He came up through their system, drafted by them. And there's no reason why he wouldn't want to make this, his long-term home. Why would he not want to make the Ducks, the place that he stays for many, many years, right? It doesn't make any sense why that wouldn't be the case. The one issue seems to be, again, Pat Verbeek, who I think all the criticism that he has gotten from the fans it's not, I would say it's called for, right? I really do think it's called for, the criticism that he has gotten, because there's no reason why the Ducks, why the Ducks handling it like the way they're handling it, right? I mean, it seems like McTavish wants a long-term contract. That is what, people have been saying, right? It seems like he wants that long-term deal. But Verbeek, and I don't know, ownership, I think it's more Pat Verbeek wants to give McTavish a short-term deal, right? I mean, I think that's the one issue here. It's just length of contract. And, like this article says, right, TSN analyst Eric Macramala, I think that's how you pronounce it, was quick to pour cold water on the idea between a trade between Montreal and Anaheim. The proposed deal, of course, like we just talked about, was basically around swapping top prospects, David Reinbacher. And I wouldn't call McTavish a top prospect. This guy is an NHL player, right? I mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous that you would say McTavish is a top prospect. McTavish is already a solidified NHL player, right? Whereas Reinbacher, come on, has not played in the NHL yet. He has not played in the NHL yet, so he is only a prospect. That's why this trade makes absolutely no sense. When it comes to the Ducks doing it, it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, this is a one-way trade. It doesn't help Anaheim in any way. Sure, it might help Anaheim in like 2 or 3 years. Does it help them next season? No. It does not help the Ducks next season. I just don't see how it does. Right? I mean, I don't see how Reinbacher helps the Ducks in this upcoming season with the zero NHL experience that he has. I mean, he probably would have, of course, played in the NHL last season if it weren't for his injury. He got hurt in the preseason, right? That was what really set him back last year. But, I just can't see how how he gets, how this is going to help the Ducks next season. I just can't see it, right? I really just cannot see it. And it's a one-way trade. It does not help Anaheim. And it's ridiculous that we're even talking about this still all these weeks later, right? But as Mac Ramala pointed out, the trade simply doesn't add up for Montreal, saying that moving Ryan Bacher to leave the Canadiens dangerously thin on the right side of their defense. So even he thinks trading Ryan Bacher would be a mistake, while McTavish would be a strong addition. Sacrificing a potential top pairing defenseman is a price too steep for Kent Hughes to consider at this stage of the rebuild. I don't know if Montreal's still rebuilding. It's like the Ducks. I mean, I don't think either of these teams are rebuilding anymore. I mean, I think both teams have a core of players that they're going to be using for the next 2 years, for the seasons to come. Both teams already have, I think, their core in place, right? And the Ducks are very close to being a playoff team. Montreal is kind of already a playoff team. Not a lock for next year, but Ducks same way. I mean, they're not a lock either, but they're definitely, I think, going to be competing for a playoff spot. But what do you think out there? Do you think the Ducks, do you believe this TSN insider? Do you believe the reports of McTavish not being traded? Do you think it's basically done? It's said and done that he's not going to be traded, and simply the Ducks and McTavish are going to have to work out a deal soon. What do you think about that? I mean, I think, like I said, I think the Ducks are, in a situation that they should not be in right now. I think the Ducks should not be in this situation right now. Still, negotiating a contract for McTavish. Because it's basically they're just repeating the same thing that happened with other prospects in the past, right? And I think that's where, we knew what happened. We know the end game. We know how that story ended with Jamie Drysdale and Trevor Zegras, right? We know how that story ended, and I'm starting to think that the McTavish era could end the same way. It probably won't end this year, right? Because I don't think the Ducks are trading him this offseason. I mean, there's some people saying that, of course, the Carey Price contract, they'll unload that contract to the Ducks. There's some speculation there about that, and that's why it hasn't happened yet. I hope that's not the case. But I think the Ducks will sign McTavish to a contract of their liking, right? I mean, I guess it's going to be a team-friendly deal. And, the future is uncertain. McTavish gets off to a slow start next season. You better believe he's the first guy to go at the trade deadline. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the way Verbeek has treated McTavish, it doesn't seem like he has much regard for him. And if he goes through any struggles, any serious injuries, any extended period of time that he is out, I think he's the first guy to go at the trade deadline, right? And I think that's unfortunately the case that we're gonna have to deal with the Ducks, because it doesn't seem like the Ducks want to commit to him long term. They would have wanted to. They've already would have done it. It's that simple. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Ducks.